Hi everybody. Today we're going to see how I draw Cloaked Shadow. I'm going to make myself a quick sketch just to make sure I draw everything right or have enough room for everything. You know, I'm going to have him bent over just a little bit because he's got horns that I want to make sure there's room for. All right. And maybe kind of hunched over just a little bit. That'll give him I guess also a cool little pose. Do something like this. And this is just, again, just for me, just to make sure I get everything in there. I know you can't quite see everything, but you'll see everything in a second. I'm just getting the basic shapes in, so when I draw it, I don't forget something. Because sometimes I'll do that. I'll go back and look after I finish a drawing and say, oh yeah, I forgot to add that in, or I forgot to add that in. That was a very important detail. So sometimes I like to sketch it out just to make sure that everything that you want is in here, and that we got it all. Okay, so let me draw some hands real fast. And so we're going to kind of cheat with this one since the hands are black. So you don't have to worry about detail, but we're going to do the basic shapes, and it'll still look pretty cool. Now you don't have to worry about what you can draw, what you can't draw, and what you're able to draw. We'll kind of hide your mistakes. That's the best way to put it. Adam Savage says that all the time. Adam Savage from Mythbusters, when he's making stuff, it's like, okay, and this is how you hide your mistakes, and that's a great way to put it. Because mistakes are going to happen, you just gotta know how to hide them or work with them. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to a Sharpie, and I'm going to do some fine detail on. Well, you know what? Let's just do the eyes real fast, and you can follow along. So I'm going to make just a couple of eyes like this, real tiny. Okay, and that's it. I just going to switch back over. I'm going to go back to the sharp Sharpie, and you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to draw his cloak, his hood, and get us going. So it's kind of at a point and comes out to the sides here, so I'm gonna just do that. Pretty simple. Just around the eyes, and we're going to draw a little bit of the cloak like this, because that's where his neck piece is, and then all this is going to be colored in black, okay? But for now, we're just going to do that. And so I'm going to draw the top of his head right about there, and I'm going to bring it down and draw some creases in the material, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and come down like this, do a few little bumps like that, and that'll lead me out to his shoulders, okay? So we're going to do the same thing over here. So just round for the head, then bring it down and kind of do like that. A couple things like this that'll add finer Sharpie points in a bit, and it'll make more sense. And again to his shoulders. And this piece goes around his shoulders, so again, that's going to hide a lot of detail. We can just draw all the way down to the edge of it, right? And we don't have to worry about too much, because now we're going to kind of do some rips and tears and just follow this edge. So I'm going to kind of come up and do a rip like that, bring it up, do one more rip, and connect it. And that's pretty much that. There's another line going across, but we're going to do that with the Sharpie, fine Sharpie, in a second. So let's go ahead and go down to his belt. I know it's going to come down to about right there. And I did that because he's kind of hunched over, so his material bends, right? And let's see, this first part of the rope is in front. So I'm going to draw it like this, and draw a little knot in it like that, and connect it. And then it's going to go over this, it's going over this belt, so let's draw that belt like that. Okay, so I could draw the back half now that it's underneath. Draw that knot, connect it like that. So now it looks like it's going over the belt. It's just about what's on top and what's on bottom. You just gotta sketch out and know where you're going, right? So let's draw the rest of his tunic right there with rips in it on the edge. So I'm gonna come down to here, go across and do another rip, do another one right there, and then do a higher one like that, and come back down, do some more rips like that, and connect it. And that's that. So we're getting close. We're really moving along here. Let's go ahead and draw an arm since we're here. Since we don't have to go to the legs, let's draw an arm, and I'll show you how to cheat those. So basically what we're going to do is I'm just going to, since I know my sketch is going to have it like this, I'm going to draw a little bend in his elbow, or in the material, I'm sorry, the elbow's over here. I'm going to come out and go down like that because his sleeve kind of rounds out at the end there, okay? So now that I know where that edge is, I can do that, and it's like the circular edge of the sleeve. We'll do the same thing over here. So now I can bring it up, draw a little crook in the elbow, and connect it. Boom, your one arm is already done. So the hand, normally I do fist because this is easy, but because these are all blackened in, we're going to do something like that and not worry about the challenge of it because it's all black, right? So I'm going to do a thumb like this, a finger like that, and there's part of the hand, right? So now I can draw the other fingers, and I can just draw straight through, and it doesn't matter because all this is going to be blacked in, and it's going to, again, hide your mistakes. Boom. See? You got a hand. And you didn't have to worry about detail. So let's do the same thing over here. Let's do the arm like this, a little bend in the material, just to give it something unique, because not all material is straight. And it's going to go like this, and it's going to wrap around like that. And so now I know how it's going to flare in. So I'm going to come back a little bit like that, and draw the elbow, a little crook for the elbow, and there for the arm, okay? So now we're going to do the same thing. The hand's going to be out, and we're going to get away with a lot more because it's going to be blackened in. You know what? Let's go ahead and just draw like that, because there's no reason we needed to stop because it's going to be covered anyway. So watch this. So we're going to draw the thumb out like that, and there's part of the hand like this, and let's say the finger was right there. That's one finger. There's another one like that, and there you go. Let's just color that in, hide our mistakes. And because they're overlapping, you can't tell what's what. No one can tell you you're wrong. Look at that. Looks like hands doing that. Pretty awesome, right? So now let's go ahead and go to the legs. So we're going to follow it down like this, go to the bend, and then that's where the boot's going to be. So I'm going to bring it down here like this, and that's where that boot's going to be. I'm going to bring this leg out like that. The pants flare just a little bit, so we're going to kind of give it a little bit of a look to it, you know, just a cool style. So he's got the ropes on his boots again, so since I know where they're going to be, I'm going to go ahead and just draw them. Okay, here's the end. Let's do this one here too. Here's the end like that, and it's going to be the same thing, kind of going around, and that's going to define the edge of it too. So let's draw that. Draw that, and now I can draw just like that, the back half like that. And this one's kind of different shapes or different positions, so you don't have to draw the whole thing, just it's implied. That's the best way to say it, it's implied. And now we're going to draw the boots going down, and there's more ropes holding it together, so there's going to be like a little bit of shape like that, just a little bit of kookiness, but when you draw the rope, it'll make more sense. So now I can do like that, and now you can see why it's bent in like that, right? So let's do a couple more. Okay, and here it's kind of like this. Put it behind that one, and let's do one more like that, because you can't see the cross on the side because that's just how it is, right? So let's draw the boot. It's going to flare out a little bit like this. That's what that is, that same flare. So now we can just draw the shoes at the same time. So I'm going to draw top of the foot to the toe, top of the foot to the toe, and it's just two different ways of them facing you, so that's why they look a little different. So we'll draw the heel, and it's going to come in and down and out. So it's come in, down, and out. And let's go ahead and draw like a little soles of his shoes. Okay, so that's the rough of it, and we're gonna do horns, but I'm gonna kind of they're faded. So what I want you to do once we do this is let's draw a horn. Okay, so let's draw something like that. Let's do the same thing over here. And we're going to do this. And again, they're kind of colored and faded, so I'm just going to color them all in. They're not faded, but smoking is the best way I want to say it. And you know, we're going to color in that face too. But what I want you to do is I'm going to color this in on the computer, and it's going to look a little different. So what I want you to do is get like the pencil, the side of it, and just kind of do like that. And you're going to kind of like draw smoky wisps. You'll see what I do with the color in a second. You know, let's color this in. I'm going to color this in with my Sharpie. You can do it with a pencil if you want, or when you go to color the whole thing with your colored pencils. You don't have to do it with your pencil. So it's going to take a lot of shading. Okay, so now I'm going to add just a few more details with the sharp Sharpie. And I'm going to go ahead and connect some of these. So what I did here, I'm going to just kind of do like that. And see how it looks now like creased material? Like the folds of his hood. And we're going to do a little line across like that for his detail. Same thing over here. Alright, and that is Cloaked Shadow. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.